That's a good feeling because we're in our third week, and right now I want to talk to you about a great training principle that you can add, and that is adding ends to build stamina. So obvious, right? You got to build stamina because the things that affect people in tournaments, it's usually the first arrows and the last arrows. The first arrows of the day because you got some nerves, shooting around your buddies, and you're at this new event. Then you kind of find your zone and cruise control's on and you're coasting, but then all of a sudden you start to get tired, which is where I'm at. I just completed my power of 10, so I'm sitting at 740 right now, is right where I'm at. But now I'm incorporating this training principle that I just talked to you about, and that is adding ends. So I'm gonna add in some ends, and I'll say this right at the beginning of my training session mentally to myself so that I'm prepared for it. All right, we're gonna add in 5 more. So now I gotta start digging deep and having good shots later in the rounds. And that's sweet. And I can tell you that 2 weeks ago, this wasn't happening. I was struggling just to get 4 off. Now, 4 in a row isn't a problem, so I'm stringing them back to back to back to back. And about 3 days ago, a switch flipped, and I started to be able to get more downrange without running out of gas. Nice. So my advice to any of you out there that want to build up your ability to be accurate longer is you have to start adding in the ends. Not necessarily the arrows that you're shooting each end. I could add in an extra arrow or 2 arrows or 3 arrows, but if I'm totally breaking down for those last few arrows and making horrible shots at the end of my sequence, that is negative imprinting. We don't want that. So the better thing to do is to keep the numbers of arrows on the lower side as you're building your stamina, but keep the numbers higher. If you're a weightlifter, it's the difference of you've been kind of slacking a little bit. You want to get back in the gym, get going. You don't just go in there and go for max bench right away. You have to start getting your reps higher, lower weight, controlling that weight, feeling the weight. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Feeling this draw curve, understanding it, getting familiar with it, letting off my safety, and pulling through smooth like that. They're getting better and better. They're not flawless. I will get there. I promise you. But I also want to show you the fact that, like, I am human. So I'm shooting on a bigger target, just focusing on trusting that float. And every single week, my float's getting better and better and better. But I'm adding arrows. You can see here, the last arrow got a little wild. The one I was talking on, the one before that was a little iffy. And that's a perfect reason why I have to start adding these in. Here's my 11th end. I'm gonna put 4 more in here, but this is showing me improvements are happening, but I also still have a way to go. So I'll just add the end.